MVP. Can he pick up a second point for Team USA? Scott Frost is in commentary with Michael McMullen.
Thanks, Hannah. Similar Mosconi Cup pasts. They've both been double MVPs, as you alluded to there. But for these two players, Mosconi Cup present could not be more different. Shaw's been involved in 3 matches so far this week and won them all. Woodward's trio of appearances have all ended in defeat. All part of why, at the moment, USA do not appear to have much Mosconi Cup future in 2023. But we shall see. What's going on here, Scott?
Well, first off, it's Heartbreak Hotel for USA, but on the lag, I don't know that I've ever seen this, Michael. Woodward actually pocketed the ball 1 rail up in the corner nearest him, and I think that the great Desi is calling a relag. Europe definitely doesn't like it. What Woodward is saying is that it dove in, and I would have to imagine that he's telling the truth.
Well, I have literally, I can say with absolute certainty, never seen it before. And then we see one of the highest quality lags you could ever imagine. Wouldn't it be amazing if that turned out to be the turning point of the entire Mosconi Cup?
Well, it's funny you say that. It's little things like that that can actually turn things around, just give you a little boost of hope. And Woodward needs it. That man right there on your screen is a legend of this arena.
Thank you.
And it's pretty evident.
Team USA to break.
Woodward needs to get a ball down here. One goes high. Nothing looks good. Table's wide open except for possibly the purple 5 and 6.
Last night, the big American plan was to send Federer Gorst out to try to turn things around. It didn't really work. It was part of the doubles point that they got. Tonight, the same tactic has been used with Skyler Woodward. No success so far.
Looks like Shaw's overrun the mark here a little bit, Michael. He's going to have to contend with the 4 and 9 unless he can miss these. Well, he's clipped the 4. Does the 3 play in the side? It's awfully steep. Might have to look for a safety here. This is risky. It's such a steep angle on this 3. Crafty player, this Jayson Shaw, the Scotsman. And if you can see this angle here, the 3 is really not even available in the mid-right. The 5-6 is playable down the road. Really taking his time here. It's going to work out, I believe. I'd like to have utilized that pink 4 to cover on the 9, but distance is good.
Skyler Woodward, the nearest thing really the Americans have to a Mosconi Cup hero in recent times. They've only won 2 of the last 13. He was MVP in both of them.
His first rack is all too important. The brown 7 has him hampered. The pink 4 has him hampered. If he can see any of the 3. It's only the left side. I don't know what he can do from here. Maybe try to kick behind it. He's just going to nudge it. Very well done.
Jayson Shaw playing his first singles in this year's Mosconi Cup. It was certainly happy for him last year. He lost all 3 of his doubles matches, but in singles he had a perfect record in 2022. 3 wins from 3, and that's pretty close to perfect as well.
Both players showing signs of approval to their opponent, which is all class. Very clever shot by Shaw there. He played the ticky safe. Knew he would come off the purple 5 and get behind the 6. Skyler can swerve here and maybe get behind the 3. Oh, and he's made great contact. Great contact. And he's got cover. Beautiful angle here. Shaw using the jump cue. He's really playing for distance and using cover again. Did he get full coverage on the brown 7? That's the question. Yeah, and Skyler looking to chip off the top side of this 3-2 rails with the cue ball or stick. He did stick. He needs clearance here. That 9's going to hold up, and this is going to be devastating early for Woodward.
And what's been a predominantly tactical opening rack could be about to come to a very abrupt end. And with the 3-9 combination, Jayson Shaw wins the applause and the approval of his captain. Ralph Eckert continues to be just about the happiest man in North London. Jayson Shaw is not far behind. He's right back in his domain, the Mosconi Cup, Alexandra Palace. And he's off to a successful start here against Skyler Woodward. He leads 1-0. This is effectively the decisive moments of that opening rack. Still a little bit to do, but you would always have backed Shaw to make that combination.
Yeah, Michael, I thought he might try to kick 2 rails to the thin side of the 3 versus the thick side. I understand what he was trying to do, and it didn't have to line up like this, but it seems to be the story for USA this week. And you just don't know what to say or do.
But that's interesting that you say that, because I heard something you were saying to Hannah there down on the floor, that it's almost like you as an American are lost for anything to say in terms of what the Americans can do to turn this round. Now that's okay, but not for Jeremy Jones. He's got to find something to say to his team. But you have to feel at this stage he must have tried everything.
Yeah, it just seems to get worse. It's like a giant mountain that you're trying to climb, and every step you take, you seem like you're going backwards, right? And the momentum just gets tougher and tougher. And in this environment, the pressure gets bigger and bigger for these guys every point they lose. So it's like they're expecting this to happen. Shot a break. The 1 is down. The 2 looking to dress up. Well, even better. He's got a nice combination.
But just, sorry Scott, just going to say, just look at this. Look at his reaction here. His team are in a great position. He's having a great week. And look how he's just urging the balls on to fall nicely for him. He's just relentless. Like the song they've been playing tonight says, he just wants more and more.
Yeah, and the energy. That's a lot of the energy for Europe so far this week. And it's like the balls can tell who's feeling it.
It's almost felt this week as though Joshua Filler is threatening Jayson Shaw's standing in this team and among the fans with the performances he's been turning in and the way he's been getting the crowd going. Shaw looks like he wants to reclaim that status. And again, you just look at that there as Filler looks on. Caught that 9 at a slightly different angle, at slightly different pace. He could have been hooked on the 3, but that's not the way it's going. Things are falling the Europeans' way time and time again in situations like that.
Yeah, and behind that, they're playing excellent. And that's typically what happens when you play good. Good things happen. Just seems like USA's been off the mark since the beginning. He's fallen almost perfect. He's got a lot of distance here, but Shaw loves and lives for this distance. It's pretty natural coming to the 8. A little stun over with a low left cue ball. Wants to stay below the side, just like so. Falling flat is okay. He'll be careful not to overdraw this. Ending up on the rail is fine, especially for this Scotsman. And crowd favorite, clearly, eagle eye, Jayson Shaw.
So a very different rack to the first one. And it's just perfection for Jayson Shaw. And Skyler Woodward could have no impact there at all. Gave Shaw the chance to make the winning combination in the first, but Shaw dominated the second. Jayson Shaw's 8th Mosconi Cup, Scott. But, you know, no matter who you are, there are a limited number of days in your life that you're going to play a Mosconi Cup, and maybe about half of those are going to be playing at home. So you want to build as many moments, as many memories as you possibly can to take away with you into retirement and when your great days are long behind you. And Jayson Shaw just typifies that. Nothing in the Mosconi Cup is ever quite enough for him. He just wants to keep building more and more of those special moments.
Yeah, he definitely feeds on it. I feel like Woodward has started to do that, especially in the States. The great Billy Thorpe is also one that feeds off the crowd, gets them built up. Just hasn't been there this year. And you've got to wonder if there was any toxicity or anything leading off to the team, starting off in that team's match. It just seemed like what could have been if they win that first team's match. And I know it's not supposed to be that way, but that's what it feels like.
Dry with his only previous break in this match.
It's gone consistent again with the one going above the side. He has got a ball down. He can cut it this one. He's pocketed the 3 in the side. He is over the 9 a little bit here. Well, actually a lot of it, but he's got distance. I think he's got to commit to pocketing this one.
Pretty good singles records in the Mosconi Cup. Skyler Woodward, 9 wins and 6 defeats. And when you consider that in 6 of the 8 Mosconi Cups he's played in, he's been on the losing side, that's pretty good. Singles not going his way so far this year. He's had one previous match, lost at 5-0, and yet to win a rack in this.
He's one of those players that needs to get flowing, and it just doesn't seem like it's happening. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities. Filler beat him 5-0, but it was one of those matches when he makes a ball on the break, he was snookered or had to roll out. He's caught this one way too thick. I think you had to just commit to making that ball versus worrying about the position, and now a wide open rack again for Shaw.
Shaw's own singles Mosconi Cup record is even better. 13 wins, only 6 defeats.
Extension code.
He's now into the all-time top 5 in terms of Mosconi Cups played in by European players. It's his 8th, as I said, and he joins Darren Appleton on the 2nd most for any British player. Only Steve Davis with 11 now ahead of him.
Shaw coming 2 rails here. He gets so much out of that shot, makes it look so easy. Puts a lot of power into the ball, but the cue ball just seems to float. Hitting everything extremely clean as you see that ball thump into the pocket. Unlike last match, Michael, Shaw looked to have missed the 4. USA would have tied it up 3 apiece in the doubles. And of course it drops. The shot prior to that, Al-Kaidi looked like he was going to miss the 3, and it drops. A huge swing for USA in the doubles last match. And here we go again.
It's going to be 8 out of 10 racks so far tonight for the Europeans. And Jayson Shaw once again looks like the cat who got the cream. He leads Skyler Woodward in this singles by 3 racks to 0.
If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone.
So unlike his break in the opening rack, Skyler Woodward did manage to make one off the break in rack 3, but then missed a testing 1. And the rest explains why Jayson Shaw is dancing around Alexandra Palace tonight. He ran it out from there. He now leads by 3 racks to 0. Wonderful to see this situation in here tonight. The place is pretty much full. Crowds have built as the week has gone on. let's just hope that there's still a good bit of pool for them to watch tomorrow night, because this is turning into an absolute landslide. Europe leading 8-1, a couple of racks away from making that 9. They'd only need to win 2 more matches then, and we're getting into the realms of biggest ever wins.
Rack 4, Team Europe to break, leading by 3 racks to 0.
It's hard to compare fully down the years because the number of matches you need to win has changed a lot, but I guess we think back to 2001, the 12-1 win that the Americans had then. Europe's most one-sided victory 10 years ago, 11-2. They were triumphant then in Las Vegas. And that's the sort of territory we're talking about now, Scott.
Yeah, Michael, it's, to be honest, making my job a little bit difficult, trying to find positive things for USA. I remain positive, I do believe, but man, this is painful. And I am just being honest. Shaw pockets 2 on the break, 3 on the break, and now looking for a defensive play behind the green 6. He's got there. He just feeds off the crowd. I know we've said this before, but the more nervy it gets, the better he performs.
We all know about the great famous sporting comebacks, but I've been trying to think of a situation where one side in a high-profile contest has been closing in on victory and the other one has barely registered but come back to win. And the only one I can really think of was about 15 miles away from here back in 1991, the Masters Snooker final, 1st to 9. Mike Hallett was leading Stephen Hendry 8-2. Hendry turned it around to win 9-8. It's the only thing I can think of that's comparable to what the USA need to try to achieve here.
Almost the same shot that he played prior, but Woodward can see this ball, all of it. Maybe he can get Shaw behind the pink 4, sending the 3 above the 6. But at this point, I don't know what's going through Woodward's mind. I wouldn't fault him for getting aggressive. He's down 3 games to 0, 8-1 in points. He's got a grin on his face. If only that grin could talk.
By the way, he's now played 8 singles racks in this Mosconi Cup and lost them all.
If that tells you how this is going, nothing does. Well, he has played the shot I called, but he's missed it by a long shot. Shaw has an opportunity here. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to the top left corner. The cross is on, Michael, but the cue ball's on the rail.
Shane Van Boning there got the doubles point last night with Fedor Gorst. Still America's only point. You know, it's funny. The bigger Europe's lead gets, the less relaxed Ralph Eckert looks. Maybe it's because he realises they're getting close to the winning line, and he could be on the brink of becoming a winning Mosconi Cup captain on his debut.
Well, he's weighed this shot out. I said the cross was on. He ended up playing it. He knew the cue ball was going to traffic into the 9. He almost made the 9. And to add insult to injury, he's wide open on this long 4.
He's just on the absolute crest of a wave in his career at the moment, Jayson Shaw. As we see him there again, urging the Bulls to succumb to his will. He's been pretty consistent this year, got gradually better as 2023 has gone on. And then that big breakthrough moment in Hanoi in October, winning a Matchroom individual event for the first time. And here he is now, having another glorious Mosconi Cup to add to his collection, commanding his kingdom at the Palace.
It's something special what this Scotsman's done. I don't know that you could recreate what Jayson Shaw does. As a matter of fact, I'm almost positive.
Yeah, he really is a unique figure in Mosconi Cup history. And he's absolutely racing towards the line here. He needs one more to give Europe their third whitewash win of the week. You think back to Alban Ocean beating Tyler Steyer 5-0 in the last match of last night, and it felt like it was over in no time at all. I think this has perhaps been even quicker.
Yeah, and we're looking at Skyler Woodward with a possible 5-0 defeat against Shaw, and just took one against Filler, as you mentioned, not long ago. He's still yet to win a game in the singles.
And you look at the way the European players are relating to each other, embracing each other, it feels as if they're starting the victory party already.
Well, it's like they're expecting everything good to happen. Everything good is happening, but credit to Europe, they're playing great behind it, and that's what happens.
Let's be fair, if the USA win the Mosconi Cup now, it will be the most unlikely sporting comeback ever.
Yeah, it would be historic. I would venture to say the price is, well, I can't even say a price at this point.
Name your own.
It really doesn't matter.
So relaxed, he's even finding time between racks to oblige with photos with the fans. He is on a massive high. Look at that smile, look at that joy. And you know, he's spoken honestly this year. He doesn't always feel that way. He's had his difficult times. He's been so honest about that.
Yeah, what a win he had at the Hanoi Open. It really brought him back into the picture, and that's how he qualified for this event. But man, before that, he was struggling a little bit. But look at what happens every time Jayson Shaw gets on this stage. Can Skyler Woodward mount any type of a comeback? Let's hope.
By 4 racks to 0.
The 1 went low this time. The 9 is going. It's gone!
And at last, a moment for Skyler Woodward to enjoy. It's the second golden break. Singing along with the proclaimers. I think what Jeremy Jones needs now is a letter from America telling him how to turn this round. The Europeans are rampant.
Well, this is what I noticed right away off the break. These guys have been much more consistent at making the 1. And then look what happens. The 2 seems to dress up. The 9 might have him a little snookered, but he can manufacture something, even if it does. He must have a straight-in shot at this blue 2. He does. He's used the cue ball and the cloth to kill. Perfect angle on the 3. People don't realize the difficulty there. He actually used a stun high with a medium pace and played the cue ball to perfection. Similar to how he's playing this audience.
Jayson Shaw is 35 years of age. Yes, he's in the prime of his career, but you just never know. You don't know whether he'll ever play another Mosconi Cup singles at Alexandra Palace. So milk it for all it's worth. And make sure you've got as many little memories and big ones to take away with you as you possibly can.
He is milking it, Michael. And the captain, Ralph Eckert, looked on, and you could just read it in his facial expressions. He's saying, man, there's something beautiful about this. Whoever you are, American or not, you have to give this young man credit. But is this what Woodward needed?
I think he's okay.
No way, Michael.
Well,
really?
Put it this way, you
Oh
don't.
my goodness.
You don't react like that when you've hooked yourself. And there we can see from that angle, it confirms it. In goes the 8. Let's go quiet for a moment, Scott, to hear this roar. Much as it might pain you.
Oh my.
There's just no future in chasing Jayson when he is as rampant as this. A wonderful performance from Jayson Shaw yet again. He's now been involved in 4 matches in this year's Mosconi Cup, and he's been on the winning side in